Right, we're going to right now go into, I spoke briefly about looking at the zone of proximal development. That is, what can I do on my own? What do I need support with? When I've got that support, I'm now independent and I move myself up. So I'm moving myself up further and further with my strategies I know and my learning I know. What I want you to do now is to understand, have a deep knowledge of that idea of zone of proximal development, where it came from, what it looks like, really how does it feel for you, what effect does it have on you, what effect is it going to have on you all learning and you're presenting information as a learning leader to your staff. And what's their zone of proximal development? So you've got to think of this on two levels. As a teacher, where are the students placed? As a leader, where are the staff placed? What do I know about my staff as well? Because I've got that job to pass on this information. All right? All our coaches actually look at you in your zone of proximal development and try to move your school along. So it's in everything we do. It's not an add-on, it's just an understanding, a belief about what we learn, what we need, what we actually know, what we need to learn and how to move us on. Now, each of you have a full set of the documents. I've given you all the documents, but you're going to break into jigsaw groups so that all the pinks, and if you just remember, you can go out there as a small group and work, but there's a meeting. Just be aware that don't go around the L shape near the door, the glass doors, because there's a network meeting going on there, but you can bunch wherever you like as a group. All right, you do have in your package that I've given you this particular document. It's double-sided. It's called LEAD, L-E-A-D. It's a single white sheet. You can use that as a pro forma. On one side, it explains each of the boxes. So that the L is teacher can list specialised or academic vocabulary words related to the topic prior to the experience, or as I'm actually going to get you to do is to find the key words and the vocabulary in your reading. You could get students to do that. That's a scaffolded piece. So you could give the words as a teacher, or you can find students that could read this piece and add their own words that form their understanding of whatever content area they're reading. But in our case here, I'm expecting you to find those words, to find the key words in each of those articles. Your task will be jigsaw grouping or expert grouping, if you know it that way. Work with members of your learning group, read, then discuss what you read related to the understandings now of the zone of proximal development and what it means to you and your students or teachers. And list the words that explain the meaning and application of the zone of proximal development in the box above to describe what you know. The third box is what comes out of the discussion. So it's comments, statements, ideas. What's coming out that you will need? You're hearing something new. You need to learn some more. You need to do some more reading about it. Whatever. So it's your discussion points that come out around the bottom. So on the back of that, the top and the bottom are blank for you to fill in. So each of you have that. So the way I want you to look at, thanks for that, the way I want you to look at that is, what more information do you require? It's not so much now, we looked at that in relation to learning. This now is acquiring this knowledge about the zone of proximal development. You've read one article or two articles, and I've given you, what, six articles to all read that is all around the same thing. I would like each table now, you've got 1 minute to decide who is going to speak and develop your summary. So what is it that you want to say about the learning? This is just a snapshot of what you've understood in your reading now and what you now know about the zone of proximal development.